think of a Lifetime Achievement Award, I think of people who should be held up as statesmen and leaders and inspiring individuals. Senator Frist is a pretty inspirational leader. I think he's one of the most humble leaders in this space.
My mother and father certainly had not planned in their early 40s to have this late arrival into the family. But what a blessing it's been, and we've enjoyed every one of those moments since then. He's always inspired us to make life better for others.
I learned early you didn't tell the Frist guys what they weren't going to do. He came to Nashville to start the transplant program at Vanderbilt University. Shortly after he had done 100 heart transplants, he decided he wanted to be able to change more than one life at a time.
Bill came to me and to the family and said, I want to run for the U.S. Senate. And we thought he was crazy.
Very few people are willing to do what Bill did, step up himself, leave his existing life of high success as a surgeon and go run for the United States Senate. He didn't need to take on the vulnerability of running for office, but he did, and I think that speaks to something that everybody should emulate.
Bill did the extraordinary type of thing and far exceeded everybody's expectation as a young senator.
He got to be majority leader faster than any other man in the history of the United States. Well, what that really enabled him to do is parlay changing more than one life at a time.
Whether it be in the operating room at Vanderbilt, the boardroom, the bush of Southern Sudan, or the kitchen table, Dad's always trying to make an impact in people's lives.
While he was the majority leader of the United States Senate, I'd go down and operate on children and folks who needed it in situations all around the world in some developing nations.
And he met with President Bush and said, President Bush, there are going to be millions of lives lost in Africa this year if we don't do something about this new little disease that we didn't even know anything about when I was in med school, AIDS. And at State of the Union in 2003, he announced PEPFAR, an overwhelming change in our policy to help stomp out AIDS in Africa. And in one fell swoop, Frist had saved millions of lives.
One of the things that I most appreciated about Bill when he was in the Senate was that he still missed helping people in a hands-on way.
He always kept his stethoscope either in his pocket or on the desk nearby.
I had open heart surgery, and right before they did it, I called him. I said, you better come down here and hold my hand. He said, well, I'm in Chicago. I'll be there in about an hour.
When he left the U.S. Senate Majority Leader's office after spending a career in public service, we were debating a very significant issue in education policy. I remember having a conversation with Senator Frist about all of the complicating factors, and he simplified it very quickly for me, and ultimately is what's the right thing for students in this scenario, and then go through that lens to make the decision. It got really simple really quickly, and the adults ultimately followed along based on the true north, which is what students need. He also made a very specific decision to really think intentionally about how to improve health outcomes in our state, in Tennessee, and he wanted to do that through improving student outcomes and student success.
He could say, well, I've served, I worked really hard to keep people healthy as a surgeon. I went and worked on policy issues in Washington, and I'm going to worry about something else. I bet once every month or two, he will call me regarding some overall health care issue regarding the health of Tennessee.
I don't know of anybody like Senator Frist who has energy and drive and commitment to public service.
My brother Bill was an ordinary person who throughout his life has done extraordinary type of things to make life better for others. I think he's a good recipient for this great award.
You are certainly deserving of this, and all of us have benefited from your service in healthcare, in government, and as a citizen. Thanks.
Congratulations, Senator Frist. This is so well deserved, and we all are excited for this wonderful opportunity to celebrate you and your lifetime achievement.
Dad, well deserved, and congratulations.
It's had to be an easy choice for the Business Journal, because you truly are a great man and one that all of us love and appreciate.
You're right now at the peak of your productivity. Can't wait to see the next chapter in your life.